Hello, welcome to this episode. We'd like to start off with a warning. I'd like to remind everyone that this show is for mature audiences. It may have depictions of violence, body horror, suicide, sexual themes, power imbalances, forced actions, gaslighting and other taboo subjects. We urge you to watch at your own discretion and take breaks if you need to or skip parts entirely. My players have made me aware of their veils and lines, and I'll be adhering to them as we want a comfortable table as well as a comfortable audience. As always, we remind the viewers that we are playing monsters. And, whilst hating the character is perfectly fine, please do not hate the player. So sit back and enjoy. Cannibalism can represent a consuming, all-encompassing love, where one person feels so deeply connected to another that they are essentially devouring their identity, signifying a complete absorption and merging with the other, often at the cost of their own sense of self. So what happens when a Cainite is so tied to another that they would fully give their lives for one another? That's where we start. In an abandoned hotel in Coastview, in Pacifica, surrounded by the numerous bodies of scavers, Valantin over one arm holds the body and Vox holds another. But it is not here we pay attention. In the middle of this abandoned hotel in the lobby, Dr. Theta and Evol hold each other in an embrace. An embrace so vicious, yet so caring. As Evol's fangs dig deep into the flesh of Theta's neck, the vitae flowing through Evol as the attempted diablerie of a loved one begins. Theta, I need you to roll me a composure and resolve.
4 successes.
You are wholly aware of what Evil is attempting. You can feel your own essence flowing through you. And whilst this to you would be the utmost pleasure, to give yourself to one of your pack, your beast, however, does not approve.
How dare something that you own attempt to take you?
You Evil can feel a shift. As Theta, what do you do?
I'm going to tear her mouth from my neck. That is enough, dear. And I am going to roll her sideways and tear back into her because she is mine.
Evil, are you going to resist this, or are you going to continue this attempt of diablerie? You are still slightly frenzied, but you are able to ride this.
She will attempt to gain control of herself, even in the midst of this frenzy. There's a cybernetic pulse that is pounding through her brain. It's rhythmic, and it pulses reminiscent of a human heart, but she knows it's just circuitry.
Roll me a composure and resolve for yourself. Valantin, Vox, you both watch as the ductless of your pack and her closest companion are beginning to eat each other. Valantin, you still hold Storm over your shoulder, and Vox, you hold the crazed man who is continuing to laugh and pointing at the two of them.
Out of 5, I have 2 failures, 2 successes, 1 critical success.
Vlad and Vox, what are you two doing at this moment as you see your two packmates essentially eat one another?
It's always at the most inconvenient time. Vox, can you take this one? And he would try and pass Vox the other body that he's holding.
No problem. She'll go ahead and take the other one as well. And
as Valantin, you pass the body, there's a movement from Storm. A gasp, an unneeded breath as the black liquid from her abdomen pulls down your shirt onto the floor. Kill me!
No. Oh, disgusting. Right. And he would walk over to Exot and Theta and kind of position himself. I imagine if they're kind of like this with each other, he would kind of position himself just towards the edge, just so he can kind of get in between both their heads. And he would place a hand, gently to begin with, on both of their heads. Just take a deep breath. If you could both regain control of yourselves in the next 30 seconds, that would be wonderful. We do have other things to be getting on with.
Theta, how much blood do you take from Evil, or do you attempt to diablerize her in the exact same way she did you?
No. This is just a warning shot. And she has probably felt a nip like this before in a more private setting. So, this is just maybe 1 dot. I'm trying to slake 1 hunger from her.
Okay. Evil, could you please roll me 1 hunger die? You, however, are down to 2 hunger yourself, Evil.
A success.
Okay, so you remain on 2 hunger, and Theta, you go back down to 2 hunger. And you both feel as Valantin's hands go to the bases of your heads. He holds you both. You hear what he says.
Vol, stop struggling as much. Her body is vibrating, allowing Theta to continue to drink. And she feels something inside of her. It's an emotion. A realization of what's happening right now. And she starts to speak. It sounds so human, this voice. Please. Don't let it end. Continue. Drink. I can still feel it burning under my skin. Breaking free.
And I'm going to remove my fangs and kiss the spot where I bit.
No. It was... Valence, it was perfect. She stops and... There is a synthwave noise, like a recalibration. She falls back down into the floor and stares up.
Satisfied?
Theta?
Evolve.
Are you able to get up?
I am well.
I didn't
And
ask if you were well.
I'm going to rise to my feet and offer my hand to her.
As Theta, you begin to rise, Tinker walks behind you. He was also attempting to pull Evol away from you, but he does try to help you to your feet, if you allow him.
Valantin removes his hands and takes a very large step. He actually wanders back over to where Vox is, and he starts looking at Storm a little bit now that she's kind of made a noise. He's kind of like examining her.
Get off me, is all you can hear from her as more viscous fluid flows to the floor.
Well, I'm feeling a bit more alive this evening.
Are we all finished?
Yes.
Evol doesn't take Theta's hand. She slaps it away. A momentary falter. But perhaps my frenzy is only proof of yours, of your failure. Both of
Whatever
yours.
helps you sleep at night or during the day. Whatever helps you sleep during the day.
Don't pin this incompetence on me. And then she storms out.
Those with Auspex still on. I believe that was Theta and Vox, correct? Roll me what's awareness.
One success.
How much successes was that, Vox?
One success.
Okay.
Did you just do one success?
No, it was that.
This is a very good lie. One success.
As you hear the clacking of Evol's boots hit the ground, there's another sound. This time it's from outside though, and you both hear it's muffled slightly, perhaps because of the distance, perhaps because of the surroundings that you're in, the heaviness of the air. But you could have sworn it sounded like tires on the ground, vehicles stopping, and feet coming your way.
Well, that's a real how do you do. I think we got some company.
Company from who?
Not sure, but I can hear them outside.
Fuck. And he would start heading out in the hallway and calling after Exot. Exot, wait!
I don't have time for you. What do you want?
There's potentially someone outside. Don't storm out. And he would catch up with her and place a hand on her shoulder for a second to stop her turning around the corner towards the front door. Just 1 second. And I would like to use the same power that I used before to look into the shadows by the door to see if I can see if anything is outside.
Yes, and given the entrance and the lighting from outside, there is indeed a shadow being cast inward. So if you want to use your power on that door, you can.
Yes, please. So I just need to do a rouse check.
Yes.
That's a fail.
And your blood goes up by 1. You're now on 2 hunger.
Getting thirst.
Your luck is no longer holding. Is that
God. Yes, I would like to see before they can basically see that we're inside the hallway. Then obviously look outside and see if there's anyone out there.
So as you throw your senses into the shadow and you look out into the entrance where the bodies are, you see the two scabbers that Theta had crucified against the wall in anger. But you also see a dozen men and women wearing the same outfits, well built, with tracksuits and masks hiding their face, all heavily armed. You see one who looks feminine walk up to the two bodies. She turns and speaks to a large gentleman who is holding a shotgun close to his chest. Does Valantin speak Russian?
He does. Valantin speaks about 10. He speaks like 10 different languages.
You hear the conversation between the two of them. It looks like they were killed very, very recently. Perhaps half an hour, 45 minutes ago. Well, duh. And then you see them all sort of go into like a military stance and begin to walk towards the entrance.
He would pull on Exot's shoulder and start to pull her back and start to move towards the door. As very quickly. Not quite running, but it's a power walk for sure. Mm-hmm. And he'd kind of walk back through the door. Okay, 15 to 20 of them outside, similar uniforms to the one who've been killed here. They're speaking Russian. Looks like they've got some kind of military training. Theta?
Yeah. And I would know that these are scabbers, yes?
If you could roll me your wits and streetwise. Bad neighborhood does come into it.
Sweet. It was wits, yes?
Yes, wits and streetwise, yes.
In the meantime, he would turn to Vox with the bodies. Can you get them in the corner and get them tied up so they can't get away and no one else can grab them?
Tie me up, you kinky son of a bitch. Hi! You hear him shouting.
And can you fucking gag him as well?
So
No worries, I got it. She's
that is
gonna
a
go
1
and take care of
success,
it.
but it is a 10.
Alright, so Theta, you're aware that scabbers is a universal term for anyone who tends to kill, kidnap, and do horrible things to people in this city and take body parts. But as you look at these people, these scabbers in particular, you notice that these guys are far better armed than your average day scabber.
So these guys are connected.
They could be Dogtown scabbers, yes.
Alright. There are so many bodies, you know what? To protect my pack, I am going to fleshcraft a wall up between my pack and the intruders, because, you know, if they come across something like that, even with their training, even with their know-how, they're going to see that and not know what to do with it. That should hopefully cause them horror and maybe to think twice.
So this may take a minute or two. It's not going to be instantaneous because you got to get all the raw material, right? So please roll me your dexterity and flesh crafting.
In the meantime, Valantin would close the door.
Okay.
And he would turn to Exot. Because presumably it's a mechanized door.
It is, yes.
Yeah. He would turn to Exot. Can you make sure this stays locked?
Can.
This is...
But they are the only thing in between us and our escape.
He turns around to where there was because there was like a big hole in the wall, wasn't there, in the room where Storm was? She'd been punctured through the plaster, right?
The big hole in the wall was the entrance to that room.
No, but she was on the opposite side. So there was like the doorway that they came in through.
Yes.
And then she was on the wall on the opposite side. She'd been crucified. So there was like there was structural weaknesses into the wall where she'd been crucified into the wall.
Sort of, yes. It looked like poles had been put through the wall, yes.
He's gonna look at Vox.
Yeah, I can put some more holes in this.
So, how many
That's
successes?
6 successes. Yeah, that's 6 on a messy critical. Because this dice roller really does hate me.
Hey, 6 is an amazing roll. And Evolve.
Evolve's going to hack into the system. There's
So is
nothing.
this more my thing then? If we want to pull it and just break it.
Yeah, we just make it harder for them to get through to us while we're getting an exit onto the other side, because if there's a big giant flesh wall between us and the people anyway, then... And I'm very excited.
Alright, Vox will go ahead and grab the door and just try to pull it, and then like take a kick to the metal of it to bend it out of place.
Alright, roll me your strength and brawl. As Vox walks up towards the door, Theta, you are grabbing bodies. And you all see this. Theta, would you like to describe what you do to these bodies?
It is as an artist shaping clay. It is as if she has taken 2 wet, soggy noodles and twisted them together into reap. It is horrific the way that these bodies meld together to form a lattice up to the ceiling and back down. And she grabs a second pair of deceased and twists them in the same grim fashion and then slides flesh over to close the gap between them.
And you can all hear the sound of flesh tearing and ripping and muscles stretching. And Vox, as you start dragging this door, you can hear the metal squeal. And as you're just about to close the door, a gunshot rings out and smacks against the metal door. And the shouts and voices from the other side are a numerous amount of Russians shouting very angrily, and you can hear footsteps running toward the door.
I got 4 successes. And Fox just kind of, as she's getting, like, just about to close it in, hears the ping of the gunshots off of it and says, "You're gonna have to try harder next time, you commies." And she's gonna, like, slam it shut.
Dos Vidania, bitch.
Nice.
And you hear banging on the other side of the door.
Alright, where are we going next?
Valantin has already turned to where he's basically examining the wall and trying to find the structural weak points to direct Vox to. So could I roll to find where the best place to basically break through the wall is to get to the other side?
Yes, you can. Roll me a wits and science or technology roll.
Yeah, I'll take technology, it's better for me.
Evolve will turn to Theta. Can you get Tinker to put the car in the back? Can you get him to move it?
What do you want me to do? Fight them all?
I can get
Oh,
him to
fuck,
do
he's right there.
anything.
Yeah, I'm right here with the dog. What do you want us to do? Oh,
well,
sorry.
So forgettable.
Sorry, I should not speak to... Sorry. I'm a bit stressed out right now. You tried to eat the boss.
I'll try to eat you if you don't figure this out. Is there anything else?
I've got a skinning knife. That's about fucking it.
A digital maze I can get myself out of. This is nothing. There's nothing here. It's void. It is nothing here.
Is there a window?
They are all boarded up with steel shutters. This hotel was closed down. Like most of the hotels in Pacifica, it was built, but then abandoned.
It's a shame they didn't turn it into affordable housing.
4 successes.
So, Valantin, as you go to this door, as you go to this wall, you notice that there are a few cracks. It would take some power to knock it down, but Vox, you're pretty sure, would be able to do so.
He would run his hand over the wall gently until he finds the crack, and then he'd turn over to Vox. Hit.
Now, this will be a
Same roll as last time?
Yes, this will be a series of rolls. So you need to get me 12 successes, and you have
Okay.
4 rolls to do so.
Can I assist?
Alright.
You can. You can also rouse the blood if you need
Okay,
to.
I'm not the strongest person in the world, but I could.
Alright, strength brawl.
Yes.
Alright, so this is strength brawl, right?
Yeah, strength brawl. Obviously, you can rouse your blood.
Oh, right, that is a thing I can do. I'll go ahead and do that. Failure.
Okay, you get a little bit hunger. You're on 3 hunger now. Yes.
No, 2.
2. Okay.
Because I drank from Costa earlier.
Yes. Kill me. You should probably do it. Stormy here's gonna bring some weather.
Okay.
Sorry, with that, can do you have something on her that they're tracking?
She is entirely naked.
Inside her that they're tracking? It's the way that you phrased that as she's going to bring some bad weather.
Do you want to check?
Yeah, kind of.
Okay, do you want to help Vox or do you want to check the body?
I'll be fine. Don't worry about me.
Okay, yeah, he'll go and start looking at the body. Both of them, actually. He's going to check them both over for anything that could be a tracking device or anything like that.
Okay. Theory, Vol, what are you two doing?
Evol is looking at the massive flesh wall. And though there's nothing there, no circuitry, nothing that can give her any answers, she does have a slight idea. She turns to Theta. I think I can blend. If I can get out there and blend into the environment, perhaps I can slip past, get the car, and go around back.
Well then, I would suggest you go with Vox and try to head out at the first crack.
Doing such a marvelous job breaking this thing down. I feel a lack of control in here.
Vox turns and she's like, I mean, shit, I was just gonna go out myself and go and get the car. I mean, if you want to come along, you can.
Probably safer to move
Think
into
your little
hers.
circuits can help us out?
There is the sound of a shotgun blast and the door being pulled open.
Before they can get in, I would like to put the final touch on that wall at the front of it facing them. And you're just going to see her hand move back, and in the front, it's going to sound like a sickening squelch. And the words are going to be bleeding on the flesh wall, saying, Das Vadanya Zashik Moin. Goodbye, bunny.
Very nice.
Vox, how many have you done so far? How many punches have you done?
I did 1. I was waiting. 5 successes on that one.
As you all hear the toosh of Vox punching the wall, Evo, Theta, wits awareness from the two of you, please. Valantin, wits medicine, as you're checking these bodies over for trackers.
Do I replace 2 of my dice with the 2 blood dice?
You are, yes, as you are 2 points hungry, yes.
It's 3 successes.
Oh shit, bestial fail.
Is that for
This
both
dice roller
bodies?
hates me.
Oh my god. Okay. So, my regular black dice are all failures, 3 failures, and my hunger dice are 2 critical successes.
Okay, so 2 crit successes. Okay. So 4. Theatre. How many did you get?
Again, this dice roller hates me. It's 2 successes, but there's a bestial failure.
Okay.
2 successes with a bestial failure.
Vox.
I don't know if that does anything.
What did you get in your second roll?
5 successes.
So
I'm at
10 so far. Lovely. And Valantin, you got 3. So Valantin, you're looking over you're looking over the corpses. You're looking over Storm and the crazy man who has not identified himself. And you're not noticing any incisions on Storm at all. You're not noticing any small cuts that would indicate that something has been put inside her, other than the large hole in her abdomen, which is not see-through. It is just pouring out black fluid across the ground. It's like she's bleeding this, hemorrhaging this fluid. Vox, you punch through this wall and you hear a massive crack as you're beginning to get through to the other side. And you can hear cars out on the other side of this wall. Valantin, as you go towards the other unidentified man, he pushes away from you. Hey, don't touch what you can't afford. Remember what happened to your friend? Bernie mouth. Mm-hmm. You think I won't do the same to you?
He would just compel him.
Freeze.
That'll do. But as he is Kindred, roll me your manipulation dominate. Theta and Evil. As the door is screeching open, and as you hear the banging of Vox in the other room, and you can see Valantin over on the floor checking these bodies, as Theta, you write your little Dos Vidania bunny rabbits on the wall. You hear a creaking sound in the room you're in. Like bone cracking and scraping.
You sound I'm familiar with.
Followed by groans.
What is that? Wall?
See anything
No,
where it's coming from?
when we came in, Valantin recognised that Oblivion had been used, but most likely Hakata Oblivion.
And as you write the message, Evil, and Theta, and Evil, you turn and you are totally aware of your surroundings because nothing seems right. Nothing seems right. Why are these corpses walking towards us now? As many of the dead scavengers are slowly getting to their feet, their bones cracking, and they begin to walk towards you. You hear a scream from outside the door, and gunshots.
Shit. Fox!
Gonna turn as she's just taken the final punch, 4 successes.
The
So 14
wall
total.
cracks inward. You can hear the street below you as cars rush by. It is a 40-foot drop from here to the freeway below. And you see these shambling corpses walk towards Theta, Evil, and Valantin. There are about 6 of them in this room. Those that were not used as a flesh wall. But the wall itself begins to coagulate and bubble as if it is struggling to keep still.
Oh, we
Well,
cooked,
that's
gang.
fun. Oh, we are so good.
We cooked. That's
You
4
got
successes, by the
me.
way.
Oh, but that is juicy, and I do love to see my work take on a life of its own, so to speak.
Could I grab Theta and Valantin and use my obfuscate powers? And I don't know if this just works on me or anybody that I touch and anyone in my environment, but Ensconce allows the kindred to blend in seamlessly into their environment, becoming nearly undetectable in direct observation. 1 rouse check and wit, stealth, and obfuscate.
Ensconce is an extremely useful ability. However, it is for the individual alone. The ability you're on about is a higher level ability. It's a level 5 ability. But you can sort of protect them in a way if you wish.
Fuck me. All right.
If you insist.
And the corpses begin to shamble, and they're not running towards you. They're not, rage zombies. They are shambling towards you. They're broken bodies.
All right.
I mean,
Oh.
Vox, as soon as she finishes breaking the wall and turns and sees this bullshit going on, she's just going to take out, like, she still has her feral claws up because we're in the same scene, right?
Yep.
Or feral weapon, sorry.
Yep.
Yeah, no, she's just going to, like, swoop in on the side of them, just like, and, try to punch through these things.
Okay, very, very nice. Roll me your strength brawl. So, quite a few things are going to happen right now. Yes, Evil, go ahead.
I would like to cast that, I would like to cast Ensconce on myself and then step forward.
Okay. And as you cast that upon yourself, you have done the rise check, yeah?
I will now. A success.
Yes.
Not a critical, but a success. And then, should I roll the wits plus stealth plus obfuscate
Yes, please.
for the dice pool? Alrighty then.
Theta and Valantin, you can all hear the gunshots and the screaming from outside. It is confused mayhem out there. Valantin, you can hear the voices screaming, saying, "What the fuck is going on? Why are they attacking us? I thought they were dead." And then the noises get closer as the door is pulled open and they're in the opposite side of the room to you, to the flesh wall. You can hear "what the fuck's going on" in Russian accents. You can hear someone shooting at the flesh wall, trying to get through, not from aggression to get to you guys, to try and kill you, but from fear to get away from people that they once cared for, who are now eating their flesh.
Wonderful.
Did your man freeze?
He did.
Okay.
And as you check him over, pulling his t-shirt up, checking him, you can smell like it's a weird smell of rank BO and alcohol, and you don't see any incisions in him at all. But as you're nearly finished, he gets close and goes, "Like what you see."
Did he have anything else on him?
No, he had nothing but the clothes on his back.
Right.
No ID, no wallet, no nothing.
Cool. Valantin's going to scoop up both the bodies then, get him on his shoulder, and turn around and face the zombies.
Okay. Now, quite a few things are happening. Evil, you have ensconced yourself in obfuscation. Nobody in here can see you. Not even those that you want to. And the creatures that were shambling towards you part. And one lunges straight for Theta, whilst another lunges straight for Valantin. Vox, you run in and you jump. How was your brawl roll?
4 successes. If I need more than that, I will willpower, but I think that's good.
You come in and you swipe at the closest one to you, and you cut through its chest. Your hand piercing through its upper body, through the other side. You can feel the muscle and the bone crunch under your hands, and the organs get crushed between your fist. And it begins to move. It grabs onto your shoulders and begins to pull you closer to it with amazing strength. It is going to try and bite you.
Okay, very quickly, as the zombie is going towards Valantin,
Yes.
And he's got these 2 bodies. He's actually the body of what I'm referring to as the idiot in my notes. He's just going to turn so the zombie bites the body instead of him.
Oh, that's smart! With the, like, caustic blood and everything that, too.
Yeah.
No! And you see as the zombie's teeth crunch into the side of this man's arm and rips out a giant chunk of his flesh. And the zombie stumbles back. Its mouth begins to foam over. And the jaw drops to the floor. It keeps coming towards you, however. Its hands outstretched.
Can't believe
Yval seems to take a step towards Theta, but immediately seeing Valantin in her eyesight, she hesitates. And then she moves, putting herself in front of Valantin.
And you
Stay behind me, Vale. And then, well, she will say, "Stay behind me, Vale," and take the scalpels out of her hair and slam them into the on either side of the zombie's temples.
Okay. Roll me Dex melee. Theta, what are you doing as this zombie tries to grab you?
I am going to, well, the mantis blades are already unsheathed as per last episode.
Mm-hmm.
So, I'm just going to start turning into a blender.
Okay, roll me your Dex and melee as well. And as you guys... heads? Yeah.
Next.
Yeah. So call shots, so try and get me 5 successes.
Oh, wait, what did you want me to roll again?
Dex melee. Remember, you can all rouse your blood. Vox, this thing is pulling closer to you, trying to bite you. You can see it stopping its jaws, trying to get close to your face. As you feel your hand like moving through its body as it pulls you until it is starting to pop out the other side of its back.
Do I need to make any defensive check or just like take another attack on it?
Take another attack on it if you want. Yep.
Okay.
Outside, you can hear the gunshots going, and the flesh wall is beginning to turn black and blue as the veins begin to pop. And Thea, you know this is some sort of flesh corruption. This is rotting, well ahead of its time.
Yeah, that's not normal. Usually putrefaction doesn't happen that quick. What is going on with my flesh wall?
And as it begins to, as it pulls closer to you, you grip its head and you just pop it off. You can see the spinal cord rolling down. You grip the head, you just pop it off like a cork and throw it over your shoulder. The body goes limp in your arms. In your arm, on your arm.
Just I like a different kind of dead fuck. And she's gonna put it to the side.
And Theta, as your wall begins to rot and decay, you can see through to the other side. You can see that this group of very well armed, very organized scabbers are terrified, and they're fighting for their life against several other creatures just like the ones you guys are fighting.
I don't give a shit about them. Why would I give a shit about them? Fuck these guys. They would have shot us.
They are, however, getting the upper hand.
So on my Mantis Blade roll, I did get one success, to decapitate. This was the zombie that was coming to munch on me.
Okay, so as this creature comes towards you, you're able to stick your Mantis Blade through its chest. But much like what happened with Vox, it begins to walk towards you still. It is being pushed back slightly by your Mantis Blade, but it is walking towards you, its mouth chomping at the bit. Valantin, what are you doing?
So whilst balancing the bodies on my shoulder, I would like to reach for the revolver that I keep on me, give it a spin, load it up, and then point it straight at the. That was a very limp-wristed gun. Point it straight at the neck of the zombie that's going for Theta in an attempt to basically. Obviously, it can't move if it's got no nerves. If the nerves are severed, so he's aiming straight through the back of the spine here, basically to sever to shoot through the brainstem, so it can no longer function.
Okay.
He's picked up something from being around the good doctors.
Okay. And you do notice, however, that the zombies that were coming towards you do sort of part slightly to make their way around. And then one. How many did you get, Evil?
I have 2 successes and 2 failures.
You see one that was walking towards you that had no lower jaw. Its head knocked to the side as it looks like 2 ice picks are slammed into the side of its head, and it stumbles slightly. You hear the screaming of the man on your shoulder as he tries to grab his arm. You motherfucker! He begins to push and try to hit you.
It's holding him with this arm and just like, shut up! It's just like loads, like just points the gun.
The screaming outside continues, but they are beginning to win. The bodies of the zombies outside are falling. Valantin, roll me your dexterity and firearms. Theta, what are you doing?
Shit. So I'm still going to be trying to protect Evil, Tinker, and Boomer, because that's my family in the pack to a greater extent. So I'm going to try and start moving towards the wall that Vox is breaking down and swinging at the necks of zombies as we advance towards the wall.
Okay.
3 suckies.
Okay. Evil, what are you doing?
For Evol, there's a sensory overload of frequencies that are happening. She's in a panic because Valantin cannot die. Valantin cannot die. He has to live, and that's all she can think about, is Valantin cannot die. The high-pitched frequencies waver in her ears, and she is continuing like a storm around Valantin that Valantin can't even see because she's just blending into the environment. Anything that comes near Valantin, she is striking in the head, striking hard, trying to rip the heads off, trying to cut the heads off. Anything to penetrate that source, the brain, which she is so good at. And I don't know if this would work because these are zombies, but perhaps the devil's lobotomy she could also use. And it's the thing is, it's an ultimate shred of the mind that leaves one hollow, but they're already zombies, so I'm not sure if that would work.
You know what? Do it.
Okay, I'm gonna do it. It's 1 rouse check plus intelligence, dominate versus composure and resolve. Okay. 1 rouse check.
Vox, what are you doing?
And then
How many zombies are left?
There are still about 4.
Okay, and where's our driver currently?
Tinker and Boomer are currently doing a very, very good job synchronization of murdering zombies. They're having a ball. Boomer's going low. Tinker's coming up with his knife. He knows exactly how to deal with creatures that are supernatural. He was born to it. He was raised in it. This guy skins Garou for fun.
Hell yeah, brother.
Cool. So, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna take the leap out the window to go and grab our vehicle.
Alright, I need you to do me a Dex Athletics.
Six successes.
6 successes. Okay.
No failures this time.
Theta, as you're standing there, this creature coming closer to you, you hear a loud gunshot that echoes in the lobby. And you feel a spray of blood on your face. Old, dead blood. As a hole opens up in this creature's neck. On the other side of this hole, which is massive, you see Valantin holding his revolver.
Hot. This gives me pause. This is old dead blood. In the middle of this fight, I am going to dig around inside the hole. And I would like to see if I can determine what is at work here, what has risen these, because this seems like my wheelhouse. And it seems like, what the fuck is this?
Mm-hmm. Roll me. You have two choices. Wits on occult or wits science.
I think I'll go with science.
Okay. Evil. As you throw yourself into this creature's mind, it is silent for a second. Then it is as if electricity flows through your own mind, and you can hear not voices, but almost like commands, like a series of insect chitterings over one another, as it's almost like these things are communicating in some way on some higher level. And then silence again. And in your own mind, you feel a presence. And a voice. You're a child of science. No, no. You poor, poor thing. My creatures shall deal with you shortly. Your science will do nothing to stop us. Goodbye, Exalt. And you are forced out of this zombie's mind.
And with that, I continue to fight to take down these zombies.
Valantin would basically start to try and advance forwards towards the wall with these bodies, and he would level his gun at whatever the easiest target of the zombies that are left is, and fire off another shot, aiming again for that neck piece to sever the spinal cord.
And Theta, are you moving back as well?
Yes, I'm moving towards the hole in the wall that's been made.
Yeah. And you can see Tinker and Boomer at the corner of your eye, and they're having Tinker and Boomer seem like they're having a good time. They do not seem nervous by this. Perhaps it is just seeing your confidence, or the fact that Boomer's a dog and doesn't know any better.
No, he's just a
dinner.
happy man.
Vox, how did you do in your athletics roll?
I got a critical, so it is 8 successes total.
Vox, you leap from this window. You leap from this hole in the wall. that you have created, and it is a 40-story drop to the freeway below you. You land square bang in the middle of the freeway. Cars are zooming past you. One just driving straight up towards you. You get up and you leap over that car as if it was nothing and land behind it, flipping him off as he does. And you begin to run toward the entrance. Jump over another fence, down again, up this grassy hill, making your way towards the front. Theta, how did you do?
I have 3 successes. So like it's 110.
As you're checking this blood, do you taste it at all?
I don't think I should put it in my mouth because that is a highly Malkavian thing, but I think I need to in order to figure this out. So just like a tiny like bump.
As you roll me a composure resolve.
That's 4 successes.
As you begin to put this thing onto your tongue, you stop. If it could happen, the hairs on the back of your arm, the back of your neck would have risen up. This is a stupid idea. Do not eat or taste this. And you flick it down. This blood is in some way poisoned. This blood is rotten to the core. This blood is a disease.
Oh God. So I'm going to fling the diseased creature off of my mantis blade. And I am going to shout to Tinker, do not let Boomer swallow any of this blood.
You don't hear anything from Tinker as he silently takes your command. And you hear him whistle. And Boomer backs away as he is about to take a massive chunk out of one of the zombies' faces.
None of that shit.
Boomer runs around and then goes behind you, waiting for you to give the command. Vox, you run up, and as you run up and you get to the van, you see 3 vehicles out the front with the van. They are large, they are armoured, they don't have any gang symbols on them. The doors are opened and there's no one inside the vehicles, but you do hear moaning and groaning.
From inside the hotel?
From the entrance, from where you guys first went in before you went to the front door.
Where the bodies were pinned on the wall.
Yeah, do I see that they are trying their best to escape their Theta staples?
They are very much indeed moving, trying to escape their Theta staples. And
I like that saying.
Theta staples.
The Theta staples.
it's a staple of the game. And Valantin and Theta and Evol, as you 3 are backing up, Evol, you're cracking in skulls, cutting them open with your large pointed hairpins that nobody can see until she wants you to.
Oh, he got a command, which was stay behind her. He's staying right, he's staying well behind her.
And Theta, you watch as your wall, it doesn't disintegrate. It doesn't melt away.
Oh God, it putrefies, doesn't it?
It putrefies and explodes.
Nice.
The smell of decay and rotten flesh and bad blood fills the room.
It's like a thick, bad, disgusting chocolate and sweet peach, but
and it is followed by screams as the scavs on the other side of the wall who were in vicinity of it have it land on their faces and bodies, and it begins to rot and burn into their flesh like acid, and they begin to scream and writhe on the ground.
Okay, so I'm grabbing my dog and I'm going to try to get to the window, hook a mantis blade into the side of the wall, and try to abseil down the bottom of the building.
Dex athletics from you, please.
'Cause
Evil and Valantin, what are you doing?
As soon as there seems to be like the gap, kind of that second of breathing room as the explosion happens, he would pocket his revolver, kind of look over his shoulder, and look back around and say, "Out!" And then he would use Soaring Leap to jump out of the hole with the bodies in tow and attempt to land safely.
Can I have a strength athletics from you, because you are holding two bodies, one of whom is trying to hit you in the head and stuff because you...
Yeah, you would think he'd be more grateful that I'm not leaving him to be eaten by a zombie, but here we fucking are. Honestly.
I'm
Man,
going
it
to
must
do
be
a
nice to have
willpower
Soaring
roll.
Leap.
And Evil, what are you doing?
Theta's still in the room. Yes.
Theta is currently like using her mantis blade to slide down the wall to the outside.
I'm the only one left in this room.
You and Tinker. Tinker is looking down going,
Shit.
To be fair, I care more about the dog than him.
Evol appears again.
"Oh,
And looks at the
fuck
state
me!"
of the room. She never.
Wasn't an
Takes
offer.
a vial. She takes a vial from her pocket, and puts a little bit of the blood of the zombie in there, and caps it. Places it back into her pocket, and then turns towards the window. And it is a breath of fresh air to see cybernetic, the city, to feel a charge out there from a place where it was void.
It is like a hit of fresh air, seeing the neon lights of the city below you, seeing the people walking, the cars go back and forward.
And she takes it in, breathing with her hands out just a bit. And then she looks down. Tinka, you will break if you fall.
I fucking know!
And I will break if I fall. She's going to look up to see if there's any flying cars, any drones that could possibly hold them. And she's going to search the skies.
What's awareness?
It's 5 successes for Valantin, and he's also now at 3 hunger, because I had to rouse the blood for that bad boy.
Valantin, you leap forward holding these bodies. You let go of me, fuck's it, you're in the fucking fun.
Shut up!
Ooh, spicy. Oh, you're all fun.
As he lands, can he land in a way where this guy's knee is going to take the brunt of the fall, so it cracks in half, so I can shatter his kneecap?
Do you want to angle it that way?
Yes. Absolutely. I want this man's ACL torn in half. I want it floating.
As
Oh, Jesus,
you
man.
leap, and you leap towards the freeway, cars are going backward and forward, and you leap onto the opposing traffic, and as you do, you hear a crack as you purposely put your shoulder down, and his knee smashes into the barrier. Ah! Fuck! Oh! Yep. Ah!
Yeah, if you don't shut up, I'm going to do the other one. Pack it
Ah! Oh, just bite me, you bitch.
in. No, you'd like that, wouldn't you, stupid fucking cunt?
That's just I said it. Oh, my fucking knee. Thea, how'd you do?
I have 1 success, so I'm hanging out the window watching my beloved and my Bradovich monkey boy. My butt monkey had the and I have one success.
Theta, it is not eloquent. It is not subtle. As you're scraping down this wall, sparks are flying out of the side, and you can hear the metal screaming as it goes down this concrete, until finally it releases you. It forces you. You hit a metal pole within the building, and it knocks you out. Take 2 superficial damage as you fall and hit the ground. You do not, however, go onto the motorway.
Dog lands on fucking top of
The
me,
dog
doesn't
lands
he?
on top of you.
Oh,
Now
God, you're a fat fuck.
I need to roll to see how much damage the dog takes.
No! No! No!
The dog got a critical success, so it
Yay!
takes absolutely no damage as it lands on its master.
Hell yeah, Boomer! Let's go!
Oh God, I could break your fall, you fat fuck.
Valantin kind of pushes up to his feet and spins around. Vox! Where's the car?
Vox cannot hear you as they are on the opposite side of the building.
He would start to push. He would start to walk to where to the other side of the building, towards where the car is. And then when he hears a thud, he'd look back around and just see. He wouldn't be able to see Theta, but he'd see Boomer just
You
standing
see
up.
a
completely.
large furry animal just on the ground, standing like that there, and just 2 feet under the back legs.
Good enough.
Sticking out like the Wicked Witch.
You okay?
No.
Good
I
enough.
wrote many things.
That'll do. He just continues walking towards the car.
Evil.
2 bestial failures. And 3 critical failures. Oh, critical successes.
Okay,
I think that's a bestial success.
it is.
Messy success.
As you look out upon the city, you do not see or hear any hover vehicles or drones in Pacifica. So, you surge your blood. Take 1 point of hunger. As you reach out through any connection you have, jumping from car to vehicle until you are able to find something further away. The screams in the distance are still distracting to you as you hear the Russians and the Scavers scream amongst themselves. You hear gunshots as one is walking around putting the others out of their misery, making sure everything is a headshot. And finally, you feel a connection with something in the city. And you bring it to you. It's not immediate, but soon you can hear the humming of a media drone. Its cameras moving around, looking at you. Tinker looks up, goes, "Fuck!" and he runs back into the building. It lowers itself down towards you. You hear the as pictures are being taken.
Oh, fuck. Is she able to... Can she be able to static it, to somehow create an electrostatic crackle in the system of the interface, to glitch it somehow as she's controlling it?
You could attempt to hack it, but you would need to physically have hold of it. So you're going to have to jump onto it.
Is this big enough for 2 or just 1?
It is big enough for 1 person. Tinker has, however, ran back into the building and you can hear a fight break out.
Yval's going to jump on top of it. She lands in a crouch, and she puts her hand on it, opening up the interface. Her hand goes inside as she tries to steer this craft while also keeping it steady so they don't fall, and trying to hack into its interface.
Okay.
But she knows it's probably already too late.
Roll me your wits and technology to hack this.
Can I ask a question?
Yes.
So I have alerts set up on all of... So because of my corpo job, my big boy job, I essentially have access to anything that's going through news feeds for editorial review. And Valantin has alerts immediately set up on anything that would look supernatural or that would ping his particular pack as a way of keeping an eye out for breaches. As these photos are taken by the drone and fed into the system, would it ping any of his rules, essentially, considering that obviously Yval is a recognised member of his pack?
Nothing yet.
Okay.
All right. And I added 2 more to my deck for
Yep.
cyber deck.
Yep.
Ooh, lots of them. Okay.
Vox, what are you doing now that you're at the front and at the van?
I'm gonna go ahead and I assume our van is the nicest thing that's here, or
No.
No.
The van, Tinker's van, is a very well used van. It has bullet holes up the side of it. It has a Maelstrom logo on the front door. Scratch marks that look like they're coming from the inside of the vehicle.
And the other vehicles, are they more conspicuous or less conspicuous than the van?
Depends on where you are in the city. They are armored vehicles. They are 4x4s, each of them with large wheels and open backs. They seat 2 in the front and 4 in the back. The cabs themselves are all well armored.
For the moment, I think I'm gonna see if I can take one of the other vehicles. Unfortunately, my technology is not great, so we'll see if I can hotwire it.
Roll me your wits and awareness. Theta, how are you feeling?
Squished. Thanks for asking. So I realize that I have left my Bradovich inside, so I am going to ping his Aegis and just status report.
You get nothing back quickly, and then suddenly busy.
Shit. Alright, so I am going to dislodge myself from under my dog. And I am going to try to stand up, and I'm at 2 health right now, so I'm probably not looking too hot. And I'm going to limp towards the front of the building.
Would you like to rouse your blood to heal your superficial wounds?
Yes, I would like to do that. I get hungrier, so I'm at hunger 3 again. Bite my way food just to get hungry again.
Hey, that happens.
You know what? But you know what? I'm looking much healthier. So I'm going to start popping joints back into place, putting my mantis blades, like, screwing them tighter, and just, like, snapping ribs back into their position.
Yeah. Valantin, while
I'm
you're...
gonna flobble the dog. Because, of course, he's not hurt. He's like, he's such a good boy.
His head just wobbles, his ears. Valantin, are you walking with Theta?
Valantin had started walking towards the vehicles.
Yeah, so you can, behind you, you can hear the dog barking. You can hear the bones of Thea's body crunching together as they begin to get put back into place. And you're both walking up this hill. And you can hear cars and more gunshots in the distance, but again, normal for this part of town. And you're around the corner and you see Vox. Vox, how did you do in your roll?
Few successes.
Vox, as you get into the car, you smack against the windscreen and the sun visor comes down and the keys fall into your lap.
Oh, well, there we go.
So American.
Gonna get it started and like pulled out to round the side where everyone is supposed to be coming out.
And you can see as everyone begins to walk up. Evil, how did you do in your hack?
3 failures, 5 successes, 1 critical success on the blood die.
Okay. And you can feel the power of this thing, the electricity running through you. As you put your hand in, begin to work the circuits. Until it is finally able for you to control and move. Essentially drive. And the ability for it to take pictures stops.
Am I able to feel if any of the previous pictures were saved to a database? And if so, can I feel the database as I'm flying around the building towards the front?
You can certainly feel that these images were sent somewhere on the net. And you're well aware that you're unable to hack them from your current position. You would need to go into the net itself and hunt them down.
She's going to fly towards the front, to where hopefully her pack is, towards the car.
Valantin, Theta, Vox, you all hear this buzzing sound from above your head, like a military drone. On top you see, crouched, you see red and black, her flowing in the wind, of pale skin as she rides down to see you, and Vox starts a car up.
She really is doing her best baby girl challenges.
Can I open up the boot and shove these 2 bodies in it?
You can. The man is still focusing and fighting back, however, the body of Storm has grown significantly heavier as you've continued to walk. She continues to keep saying, kill me, over and over.
Oh, could I feed her some of my blood very quickly? Please. I don't want her to die before we get there.
Roll me a rest check.
Sure thing. That's fail. That's 4 points of hunger, baby.
Why are you using yourself as a fuel for these weaklings, child?
The voice of Valantin's beast rises up in the back of your throat, and you can hear it in your brain as it rattles behind your eyes.
Because it's efficient.
I get to roll now. We'll come back to that in a second. Theta, what are you doing? There's still no sign of Tinker.
Shit. Fuck. Am I back
Let him
around
find
the
his
front?
own way back.
I realize that is a viable option. However, their family has been with my clan for centuries, and it would be in poor consideration to leave him. So I am going to go in through the front, even though I know I was just fucking in there and I just damaged myself to get out.
You walk past 2 shambling corpses that are pinned to the wall
With their theta staples.
with their theta staples. They try to reach out at you, as if remembering who you were, or as if remembering you stapled to them to this wall.
Fuck off, you spooky bitch.
And you walk in through the entrance. You hear a gunshot. You hear a scream, a shout in Russian. As you round the corner, you see Tinker pulling the hair back of a woman and slitting her throat and throwing her to the floor. He is covered head to toe in blood. His skinning knife is crimson, no longer silver.
My boy! There he is!
Oh, sorry, boss. I got delayed.
And a nice delay it was, it looks like. Alright, come on, we got the car.
Oh, he. One sec. He begins to rifle through their pockets and begins to take the larger guns and begins to walk out like that, holding them.
You know what? Spoils of war, I'll let him take those. That's fine.
I mean, you can't hunt if you haven't got the tools, right? He begins to curse in Eastern European as he just walks out, looks at you all, looks up.
I know.
Want me to take that out? He
Oh,
points at the
is he
drone.
pointing at- And I'm going to look at Eval, who wrote it down. Eval, is that looking at us in any way?
Not anymore. And I don't know if it has a GPS tracker on it just yet. It might, obviously. But I need a few of the main, I need the motherboard out of it. And she's pulling it apart to take it out.
I assume she lands first. Doesn't do it in the middle of the air.
She's still crouching on it. It's hovering. Pops off.
Just takes out the motherboard and it falls.
And Vox, you have started this other car, yes?
Mm-hmm.
And Evol, you land and you begin to rummage around and you know circuitry at the back of your own hand and you're able to take out the motherboard and the drone itself dies.
Before we leave, I would like to slice a finger off of one of the theta stapled zombies.
That's a good question. Are you keeping them alive? Oh, alive.
Those ones? They're not going anywhere, sure, I don't fucking care. It's not my masquerade breach. Snipping one of the fingers off.
The finger falls into your hand easily enough. And Tinker goes back to the back of the vehicle. He throws the weapons in above you, Valantin, above Storm and Laughing Man. And how do you feed Storm?
Literally, he's just gonna he's not gonna let her touch his wrist. He's just gonna dig in and then just drop the blood over her mouth like that.
As you begin to drop the blood over her mouth, it begins to pool with the black liquid in her own mouth. It begins to mix with it, and smoke begins to rise from her mouth. Almost like it's dissipating your blood.
Fuck's sakes. He'd seal up his wrist.
More smoke begins to bellow from her mouth as your blood mixes with it.
Fuck's sakes. He'd seal up his wrist and just slam down the boot door in quite visible frustration, which I would say is probably unusual for Valantin. He's usually quite a cool cucumber. Alas, the beast rouses. And then he would storm around and open the front of the car and get in and just slam the door closed very aggressively.
You all see the van moving side to side as Valantin slams it.
I'm going to tell Tinker to... Tinker,
Yeah.
if you could please... get in touch with your cousins, alert them of what has happened here so that they can more fully explain to our host what has happened.
Yeah. And he turns and you see his red eyes turn blue all of a sudden as he... Yo, Nexus! Yeah, this is, you ain't gonna believe what I just fucking saw. And he walks away as he begins to tell them what happened.
I do not want to surprise our host with this.
And do you all get into the same van again, or Vox, do you take some spoils of war and take this new armoured truck? This new armoured 4x4?
I mean, I'll take the truck unless I'm told that we're taking our shitty, destroyed van.
I mean, Valantin got in the cool truck.
Well, then you're in the fancy car.
I'm in the fancy car.
Alright, you're in the fancy car. Theta, Evil, what are you doing?
Oh, I'm jumping into Tinker's car. That's my driver.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to fucking drive. I can. I don't want to.
Okay, great. We're not leaving our car behind with anything of ours that could be in there to track us. Good. Evol will go with Theta, close the door so that they're alone, and she is hacking into this mainframe drone system, trying to piece it apart, dissect it as she would a brain. That was inefficient of us.
That was a surprise, and it could not have been anticipated that a corpse will open its eyes and walk.
I think there's more to it than that.
And I'm going to hold up the finger. I hope to find out more.
It is still moving.
You stop that.
I felt something. I felt something when I entered the mind of one of those creatures. It was an electrical flow at first, and I don't know if it was my circuitry or something else. And then there was this chattering, like a series of commands. Not necessarily like chattering of keys on a keyboard. It was something else. It was communicating. Something else was communicating through these things. And it spoke to me. It said that our science wouldn't help us.
Well, lucky for us, we have more than science at our disposal.
Did we see what happened to Valantin and their and that oblivion touch?
No.
Okay, we didn't see that.
Well,
my clan can't control flesh. Yours can mold it. So what other clan can?
And that is where we'll take a break.
Hello, K-Nights. Dr. Thetanosis here with a message beamed directly into your cyberware. If you are enjoying this episode of Nightrunners, you can support Icker and Ink by signing up to our Patreon, or checking out our Renegade link, both of which can be found in the About Us section. Big spenders get a modest discount on their next visit to Pulse Frame, as long as they behave.
It might even be painless.
Welcome back. Where we last left off, Theta and Evol were in Tinker's van having a conversation whilst Valantin and Vox decided to take one of the Scaver's 4x4s. In the boot of the Scaver's 4x4, you can hear banging on the inside as the laughing man is not laughing any longer. But we move to Theta and Evol as they continue their conversation.
So, what other clan can we conclude it is?
Well, and I'm going to sniff the finger that is, and I'm gonna like straighten it out and try to keep it from.
It is struggling.
This is not meant to be put in the mouth. It is rot. This isn't of the flesh. And I'm going to mull the finger over and think what clans can resurrect the dead, because this is not of my clan. This is a corruption of the blood within. This is a different magic than mine. So I'm going to try and think on, or I'm going to see if I can figure out what clan this would be.
It comes instantly. You have been around long enough. You bank with them. Clan Hikata. Necrocorp. Every kindred and Cainite within the world all bank with the same clan because they are the only clan that have a stable Eurodollar and exchange rate for Cainites and kindred. They don't care who you are, where you're from. Business is business. The moment they bought Venice and rule it with an iron fist and started to develop their own weapons and arms and banking structure thanks to the Dunsterns, you know that the clan that has the most innate ability to manipulate the dead, to manipulate oblivion and entropy, are the Hikata and its various bloodlines.
And I'm going to hold the finger up. Hikata, the clan of bankers.
Clan of corpses. And Ival will put her hand on Theta's thigh. There was a single moment of weakness, and the veil was pulled back, exposing our own corruption beneath, our inadequacies, and we faltered. I nearly killed you without purpose.
My dear.
This weakness will not fester. I will not allow it. We will bleed it dry, and we will not falter again.
Ada will reach up and brush the hair from her cheek. My dear, it would have been an honor to have lived inside your shattered. I can imagine no finer paradise than kicking around in your circuitry forever.
Affection is the only salvation we have from this wretched husk. Anything less is filth, and we must burn it. Can't happen again.
Driver's door opens and Tinker stands there. He stops and looks at the two of you. Do you need a moment alone? Well, I'll be back in 5 minutes. He closes the door and he walks away.
I hate your ghoul.
He's not my ghoul.
I hate your whatever that is.
He's a Bradovich.
Whatever.
It's a revenant.
I don't take notice of anything but you. So, Hakata. They are the ones behind this. And they dared to take your art, your flesh, and putrefy it.
To be fair, I think the flesh was corrupt to begin with. Had it been in my laboratory and festered there, that would have been a different story. But this seemed to have already been inside the corpses as we entered. And there seemed to be more corruption within Storm herself. As we entered, her body was crucified in a manner that was very difficult to suss out. I did try to get a look at it before she was unpinned, but strange. I don't know of any group that would have done something like that.
Who else has that black ichor?
Would I
Do you
know
know who-
Valantin?
You would know that some La Sombra, when they use the power of Oblivion, it comes out as a viscous black fluid. It is like ink. Especially the older, more Mediterranean La Sombra, their Oblivion powers tend to be like the Black Sea. However, some La Sombra, they have almost like a smoke quality to their Oblivion, where it like the smoke is so thick you could grab it. It really depends on the La Sombra themselves and how they manifest their abilities.
So, the La Sombra. So, our priest would know more on this. So I suggest when we return to the home of our host, we press him on the matter to see if he would know more on the subject.
She pulls out the vial of the black viscous liquid, the ichor. I know a La Sombra I could ask a few questions to, and not Valantin. The Seraphim, there's something connected here. The Church of Cain, that ancient edifice, Oblivion, the dead
And the
corpses.
And the rise of a Methuselah, all on top of.
Something else. A rumor of an AI, a powerful AI that's out there. Are they all connected or is this separate? I don't know. I can't see it. And her optical eye, you can hear the interface as it moves and emits a subtle mechanical hum as it whirls in her eye.
Well, I don't know. It seems likely. However, when we return to the pulse frame, we can pull out our red twine and a.
Should we go to Javik first?
Yes, I believe we have to deliver a body. I know we were supposed to deliver Storm alive, but I don't know that that will be a viable option. But it will not be on our heads because we didn't do it.
There is the sound of a shotgun blast followed by a second one. And the door of the car, the van, opening up again by Tinker, who's holding a shotgun over his shoulder. Took care of Zombie 1 and 2. Shall we go?
Yeah.
So he jumps in and he starts the van up. But before we move further. We go back to the Scav 4x4 where we have Valantin and Vox. As Theta and Evil were having their conversation, what was Valantin and Vox doing?
What does Valentin do as he gets in?
Valantin would climb into the car, slam the door really quite aggressively. The entire car shakes. He'd reach over to the touchpad and he would immediately disable any kind of GPS that's active on the vehicle to make sure that the scabbers can't track the car that they've stolen back to Toten Taz. He would wait for a few seconds to see if the others would be getting into this vehicle, and when he sees them go into the truck, he would slide his glasses off and just let out a long, deep, suffering sigh and just sink back into the chair.
Long day.
It's certainly turning out that way, isn't it?
I mean, we did everything we were supposed to. I don't know if there's anything more we could have done. Why? Did you expect it to go differently?
Did I expect to find her body crucified to the wall with an ancient cultish symbol and then to be attacked by zombies? No, I have to say that wasn't in my expectation for the day, to be honest with you, Vox.
Well, that's what makes it fun.
Fun?
Don't tell me you didn't have a good time.
It was fine.
It was fine.
It was fine.
Well, and her hand, where it's sitting on the steering wheel, kind of comes over and just rests on Valentin's inner thigh. We can make it fun.
I don't think now's the time. And he would slide his glasses back onto his face and take them off the off the dashboard. And he would take her hand and just give it a small squeeze, and then move it back onto the steering wheel.
She doesn't say anything, but she starts up the vehicle and says, I mean, we did everything right. There's nothing more we could have done.
We'll see what Jalan thinks about that. That's what my concern is right now. And fucking...
You hear
Start up
banging
the vehicle.
in the back of the vehicle as the laughing man's hands are slamming against the sides trying to get out.
I thought breaking his kneecap would be enough to shut him up. It's like herding cats.
He's got some fight left in him.
Unfortunately. Fight and bile.
Well, that was Evol's fault and no one else's.
Don't fucking start with me about fucking excellent. Jesus.
But I won't say anything else.
She's becoming a bit of a pain, and I'll leave it at that.
Just now? Oh, it hasn't been the last 2 decades that she's been a pain?
I hadn't noticed.
Well, I guess he had better things to do.
He's kind of... It's like a half smirk. The ghost of a smirk, perhaps. Right, do you know the way back to Toten Taz from here, or do you need the map?
I got it.
And Vox, you begin the journey. Theta, Evil, you are following behind them as Tinker begins to drive. And in the back of the van of Theta and Evil, you can hear the padding of feet walking back and forth as Boomer finds a place to lie down. And you both drive through the city. The lights of the city calling to you in many ways, as the shapes and sizes of signs that invite you to them with their glowing neon. You see people in the street, rich, poor, all shapes and sizes. You see people getting beat up, cops. At one point, Vox, you take a side street because you see a hover car flying above the street with the emblazoned Max Tack across the side. Even a wise Cainite does not want to go toe-to-toe with a Max Tack operative. And you divert, and Tinker follows behind you until you all find yourself outside the shambled hotel that is Totentanz in Northside. Much the same as before, there are members of Maelstrom standing guard outside, as well as a few other people who are looking rather annoyed. They came out tonight for a club night, but being turned away at the door by members of the gang doesn't sit well with some. You see a member of Maelstrom walk up to a man and shoot him straight in the face because he's arguing with the group.
Before Valantin gets out of the car, he would glance over to Vox for a moment and almost give her a once over, and then reach for the door handle. You're alright.
Me? Yeah, I'm fine.
Good.
Why?
And without saying anything else, he climbs out of the car and closes the door behind him, and he walks around and he opens the boot to Idiot, and he grabs him by the mouth, gets him really close before anyone else can see, and he goes, "If you make a single sound as you walk out here, you're never going to get to deliver your message. Am I clear?"
As you lean close to him, are you trying to intimidate him?
Yeah.
Roll me your... Are you trying to physically or emotionally?
That's such a great question. I don't think Valantin's very physically intimidating, to be honest. He's a bit of a twink, so perhaps emotionally.
Roll me your manipulation and intimidation, but add 2 dice due to the physical damage you've caused this man.
Thank God.
See, that's why Valantin hangs out with Pack. He needs a big dog to push.
He really does. That's 2, 6... Oh, 1, 2, 3... That's a messy success here.
Very nice. So, you can, as you put your mouth and you begin to talk to him, you can just feel the tip of his tongue touching your palm, as if he was about to lick your hand, and then he slowly takes it back in and sort of crunches up a little bit, as if afraid of you. Theta and Evol, you park up behind them. Tinker, make sure to park the van behind the scaver vehicle for when Valantin opens up the boot of the 4x4, the bodies are hidden from view from the public. And he gets out and he calls over a few of the other Maelstrom members, and they do come. And they begin to make a crescent circle around you all, as if they're relaxing against the vehicles. Some are smoking, some are drinking beer. But they are very, very well aware of the surroundings, and they're keeping a close eye on you 4.
As Vox gets out and she comes around to pick up Stormy, she just looks over to Val and says, "Wait, why do you ask if something's off? I'm fine. What makes you think something's off?"
You jumped out of a 40-story building, Vox.
That happens all the time.
Oh, fuck. I won't ask next time, in that case. And he lifts up the body of the idiot, the now, thank God, silent idiot, and lifts him up. And he's kind of looking at her through his shaded glasses with almost an inexorable expression, quite difficult to read.
It's perhaps the first time this man has been quiet properly.
You're welcome.
Isn't that nice?
I think Eval would walk past Vox and stop. Her back is turned and she turns her head slightly. Go on. You can enjoy the moment. It'll be the last time.
It'll be the last time of what?
And she turns to her. Did I make a mistake like that again? So revel in
If you
this.
think so.
I know so. I know it. She turns back around. I know it. And walks with each step calculating. Her hands behind her back now. Her face unreadable. Back to a machine.
Well, you heard her, Fox.
It'll be the last time she ever makes a mistake.
By her standards,
Wanna
I'm
take
sure.
a bet on that?
Theta, you can
Fox?
hear this conversation as you're walking past.
Theta is Path of Metamorphosis, and this is a new piece of Evolve she's seeing that she hasn't seen in a while. It's a change. It is an emotional metamorpho, so to speak. Oh, she's pleased. There is a grin. There is a shit-eating grin on Theta's face. She's just going to happily just like almost. It's just very upright, but there is a glee that is in her gait.
And as the four of you begin to walk forward, Eval, you taking the lead, you are once again met by the three Maelstrom members that took you in. The shorter one, who walks with a lot more authority than the last two. Theta, you know her as Gale. But you hear Tinker shout, "Nexus!" She just nods at him. Would you like to follow me, ma'am? She ignores the rest of you and is simply talking to Theta.
Yes, if you would please take us to the Seraphim, that would be appreciated.
She cocks her head at that and then turns and begins to walk in. And she takes the exact same route as before. You hear some man shouting at you all from the crowd. Yo, why do they get to go in? But that is quickly shut down by a gunshot. You hear a pained ow as he falls to the ground. And you're taken
Just told
inside.
them that we were prettier.
Thought it would have been obvious.
You're taken inside, and Nexus turns around and smiles. Ain't a proper night at Totem Towns unless there's some bloodshed. Maybe 4 or 5 bodies. She laughs and walks towards the elevator. The big industrial elevator that opens up for all of you. You still see that skull that's reminiscent of an old cult painted on the wall. And you make your way up. Finally, you're on the main floor of the club, and whilst before there were many people, now there are much fewer. Dog Killer's still there. He is sat with 2 women who do not look like Maelstrom members, but he is neck deep in one of them, whilst the other is busy on his crotch. The other pack on any eclipse stop their conversation the moment Valantin and Vox walk in. You see the feral-looking member of the pack, the Doctist, Corvana, stand up and walk straight towards Vox. The fuck did you do to her?
Valantin would shoot out a hand immediately, almost like creating like a barrier between the
But
two of them.
Damn.
And then
We didn't do fucking nothing.
very quietly, almost like just place a finger in front of her and go, "If you speak to a member of my pack like that again, I will remove your head from your shoulders and the world will be a better place for it. Am I clear?"
Her eyes bore into Vox for a second, and then she moves her sight towards Valantin.
He bares his teeth.
Keep bearing them, baby boy. I'll rip them fucking out.
"Don't tempt me."
Try it.
And then he would slide the guy off his shoulder, who presumably is still bleeding from where he was bitten out.
He is.
And he would literally shove the guy's shoulder into her face so that the acid blood touches her mouth.
Alright, so let's do strength melee.
Okay.
Do you have improvised weapon as a specialty?
No, I do not, but that is 3 successes.
3 successes, okay. She is going to move back. So, you'll watch as Valantin grabs this man and tries to put the bite mark towards Corvana's mouth, and she just backs up. The fuck you, and you see her nails begin to extend.
What he then does is just tosses her at him, like tosses the man at her.
There is a clap. Children! As Jalan stands up.
None of this violence in my presence. If you wish to fight each other, do it outside.
"I don't have the time to waste." And he would turn to look at Jalan with that same blank expression. And he would point to the man he just kind of tossed the woman. No, "He has a message for the bishop." He was very insistent on delivering it in person.
Anastasia.
You see the bishop walk forward. Who is this man? She asks you.
That's a wonderful question.
No idea.
He wouldn't tell us.
He just sat, gibbered, harmed my pack mates. And nothing else.
As for your other pack mate, she was found in rather more unfortunate circumstances, and he would signal Vox forward with the body.
You hear Corvana growling low, and the rest of her pack, all 5 of them, getting up and moving to flank her.
And that's where I'm just gonna hey! If you want to take it up with somebody, and I'm gonna throw the inching finger. Like, take it up with a Hakata.
Or the cult of Shalim. Could be either, but it rather appears that you've unearthed something that's a little bit outside of your purview, doesn't it? And he would stare at the bishop with that kind of very cold, dead expression.
Outside of my purview. Was I expecting some blood cult? Probably. Did I expect that blood cult? No. Seraphim. Is she here? You see Jalan walk forward and jump down the stage.
Not yet. But she will be. Nexus told me what happened. Well, what Tinker, I believe his name is?
Yes, that is the man that works for me.
Scavers and zombies.
That was about the sum of it. The long and the short.
Anastasia, I'm sorry. Evil? Carry on.
It seems that the Hakata have grown ambitious. They're puppeteering corpses. But for what purpose? The building we entered, the hotel, had no... It was a void of any any cybernetics. It was an empty husk. They lack subtlety, but not efficiency. If there's any dead spaces like that anywhere in the city, Well, it demands immediate attention, I think. And I heard this voice chattering through one of the creatures the animated corpses. And it spoke to me, saying that our science wouldn't protect us. It would do nothing.
There are many Canaanites who believe that this evolution that some within this room have fought for.
You see Jalan's eyes move to Valantin poignantly.
Is an affront to our very way of life. Though, looking at the four of you and some of your pack, Corvana, it seems you have embraced it. I am not here to argue semantics on purity and corruption. I am simply here to destroy our enemies.
Evolution.
As I assume you all are too. You, boy, name now.
For the first time, the laughing man is no longer laughing. And his voice changes slightly. It is not filled with the fervor that it was before. It's not filled with the madness. My name's Axel. And my master sends his regards. And he lunges towards the bishop to bite her ankle.
Oh god, grabbing.
Could I just bring my Cuban heel right down into the small of his back to stop him from lunging forward? Just like to pin him in place.
So Dex brawl. Boxer grabbing as well.
Yeah.
Again, Dex brawl. Theta, Evol, what are you two doing?
That's 5 successes with a critical.
Yvonne wants to see what happens.
I believe in the efficacy of my pack, and if the priest wants to stop him, then he can.
It's an experiment. Looking to see what's going to happen next. They're competent enough. They'll live. They'll fight. So she's sitting back and watching with a smile on her face.
And Vox. How'd you do?
5 successes.
And Theta, what are you doing? What are you doing?
Oh, what am I doing? I believe in the efficacy of my pack and all the vampires here, so honestly, if this derpy fucker bites anybody, it's their own damn fault.
With astounding speed, the blink of an eye, this man lunges. Valantin, your Cuban heel catches the back of his leg as he moves forward, and Vox, you grab his jacket, but the jacket pulls off, and as he grabs onto the bishop and sinks his fangs into her neck, she lets out an unyielding scream. And his body begins to morph and change. His skin begins to crack and break apart. Slabs of it fall off the bone. And there is a blinding light. Can I have a composure resolve from all of you for a fear frenzy from sunlight.
I have a 2 dice bonus to this because I am in Sanguine right now.
Hell yeah, brother.
Composure and what?
Resolve.
Resolve. Okay.
4.
Two, okay. How'd you do?
3 bestial
Oh,
failures.
mate.
2 successes.
And Theta?
Eyeball.
Bad girl.
I got 6 so
As this blinding light almost encompasses the entire room, it spreads out for a second and you can almost feel the heat on your faces. Evil, Vox, your beast, rises up within you. And you need to get out of here. You need to get away from this presence. Whatever this is, you need to run. You are in Rat Shrek for the moment. Or would you like to ride the wave?
Evol, as she's screaming in this light, she flees. She stampedes, pushing and ripping anyone out of her way to get out, to get away from this light. Does this light resemble, is this a pure light? Is this like sunlight? Is it warm? Is it just...
It feels like fire to you. It feels like your face first with flame.
I have a question.
Yes.
Path of Cathari's frenzy says that devils only resist hunger frenzy when keeping up a mortal facade, otherwise they ride the wave. Does that mean when it's a hunger frenzy, or does that mean every frenzy except for hunger?
Every frenzy except for hunger, so you can ride the wave on
Okay, so I don't have
fear,
a choice. I'm just gonna ride the wave.
Alright, so that means using a willpower until your willpower is depleted for each turn. So you can control your character. So you can control your character, or you can let Cyber Jesus take the wheel. I am Cyber Jesus. It's entirely up to you. But as you're riding the wheel, you use your willpower each scene while this is going on until the threat is gone. So what are you doing as you ride the wave? Are you standing in place, or are you trying to just take cover somewhere smarter, or what?
I mean, I was going to run, but I don't have that much willpower left, so I'm just gonna go ahead and let Cyber Jesus take the wheel.
Okay. Theta and Valantin, you feel this heat upon your face. You feel as if you are inches away from fire. But you stand your ground. You hold your hands up over your eyes to take away whatever this is. And slowly, the light compresses. As the laughing man is no longer. It is just melting skeleton. But not only is he melting, so is the bishop. She lets out a scream of pure agony. The other pack, some have ran. Some have let Rat Shrek take entirely hold, and they are running. They are hiding behind walls.
Shit.
Jalan has jumped back onto the stage, his sword in hand. On the floor, Storm is writhing in pain as her skin begins to corrupt and melt.
Shit.
I would love to see if I could jump up onto the stage and use flesh crafting and try in any way to save the bishop. To
As a-
basically hold her together.
As a medical professional, you have seen this. You have done this to people. You have stripped them of flesh and bone and muscle. This is not something you have ever seen before. It is indicative of things you have seen and done, but this looks like it is coming from the inside out. It looks like her entire body from the inside has turned into a fusion reactor and is burning with the heat of 1,000 suns. And her organs, though useless for a Cainite, have burnt away, and the heat is reaching outward.
Fuck. We need to get out of this room now.
Evil, Vox, you two have ran. You have felt this flame upon your face, and you two are running into the hallway. Both of you at the elevator, pressing the button, but it's not coming fast enough. You're joined by members of the Unending Eclipse here, all trying to get out, because there's only one entrance and one exit into this club. The Maelstrom members, the gangbangers who are just standing there going, what the fuck is going on? They're afraid because you're all afraid. Dog Killer has thrown the women across and is running for the exit. Jalan is looking between all of you and jumps down off the stage and begins to walk towards the bishop. Theta, what are you doing?
I think I am going to try and usher Jalan away. I'm going to try and... no, we need to... I don't think it is safe for us to stay in this room, sir. You included.
He looks at you. His eyes narrow slightly. But he inclines his head to your suggestion. With a fell swoop of his sword, he turns and begins to walk as the body is burning up and is seconds away from exploding. Valantin.
Yes, so he is going to, with the hole that's full of ichor, essentially lift up the corpse and around the ball, just plug it onto the ball to try, because he's noticed that the ichor is dripping off and almost like trying to crawl into other things. He's hoping that the ichor will try and absorb the ball and deaden some of the impact. And he's going to keep, as he's doing that, he's going to keep glancing over his shoulder to try and see if the others are clear. Yeah, he keeps checking to see if the others have gone out.
So the ball, I assume you mean the bishop herself, because it's not like
whatever is now the epicenter of the heat. The is
bishop
what he's aiming for.
Is exploding.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the bishop is going to go boom. I need you to do me a strength and melee, and I need 4 successes. I would probably advise a barrage check for this as well.
Yeah, I'm risking this. That's success! Thank God!
How much did you get?
Right, okay, so then... Ooh. That is 2 successes.
Okay. 2 successes.
And then the moment the body's on, he is going to also start to head to the exit.
As you grab Storm, lift her above your head, and essentially plug the bishop with Storm's torso. You feel the flesh ripping beneath your hands. You hear Storm screaming, adding to the screams of the bishop. The body of Axel has decayed entirely and is now dust upon the floor. And as you turn, you see the black viscous liquid that was in her torso just coat what remains of the bishop as her body begins to turn bright. Her black skin turning a pure white as if heat is reaching out. Now covered with black viscous fluid, and you run. And an explosion happens of pure light. Valantin, you feel this scorching heat on your back. Take 1 aggravated damage as your head to your back of your legs are burnt with this white hot light. Your clothes are unharmed, but you can feel your flesh burn and crisp up underneath. And as quickly as that white light flashed, it is gone again. In the hallway, many of the kindred are standing there. The elevator slowly making its way upward.
This is the slowest fucking elevator.
And as all the kindred, unending eclipse, Code Maw, Seraphim Ajav Jalan, Dog Killer, and some Maelstrom members here are looking around confused because they are a little bit blinded but unharmed. The elevator door opens. And standing there is a very young, very attractive woman. Her long brown hair masking with her white dress. She licks some blood off her fingers and looks at all of you. Each of you recognize her. She is the other half of Jalan. Geneva, Seraphim of the Sabbat, and member of Clan Hikata. Well, I wasn't expecting a party. And that is where we end this story.
Son of a
I knew
bitch.
you were going to end there, and in my head I almost wanted to like whisper to you, but like, can we just keep going for like a little bit? Can we do like maybe 20 more minutes? Can we have like Valantin have like a cool hero reveal before we fucking finish?
Unfortunately not.
What if I die? What if I die on the plane next week and I never get to find out what happens? Then how we feel?
Well, if
you're not-
Opeial dies in the plane next week, the next episode will be pretty damn funny. But thank you all for joining
Have you heard
this.
I mean, you don't live in America. You're safe.
Pretty much.
No, the Boeing planes.
It's an Embraer. I should be fine.
So, again, thank you everyone for joining us for this episode. We hope you enjoyed it because I absolutely love storytelling it. And we will go around the table and we're going to introduce ourselves because I know we didn't do it at the start of this episode. So, let's start off with Dr. Theta.
Hello, I am Rachel Lindemann, also as Super Rat Lord, and I have had the pleasure of playing Theta Gnosis, Dr. Theta Gnosis. And my pronouns she, they, and you may find me over on Blue Sky under Super Rat Lord.
Moving on to Evol Exot.
Everyone, I'm Robin. Today I played Evil Exalt. You can find me on most platforms on Robin the God, and I have been playing your Malkavian pack member. Thank you all for watching, and we hope to see you again for the next episode.
Vox Flux.
Hi everyone, I'm Astronomus Aster. You can find me on @Astronomus1 on TikTok and Astronomus on Blue Sky. I played Vox Flux, the city gangrel rocker boy, in this chronicle.
And Valantin.
Hello and goodbye. My name is Opeial, and I have been playing Valantin Volante, the priest of our wonderful Sabbat pack. He goes by he, him pronouns, and I go by they, them pronouns, and unfortunately you will not find me anywhere, for much like my character, I am part of the void and cannot be found on the net.
And I have been Mike, your storyteller for this evening, and I honestly do hope we see you next time. And as we like to say, if you can't keep it clean, keep it fucking scary, because we're all messy bastards here, and we'll see you next time.
Bye!
See ya.